When the media talks about looks, it is usually about women, but men have been pressured towards their impossible physique too. When you find out how much this ideal hot male body has been changed, you'll find that just like for women, perfect is in the eye of the beholder.
Finding someone who looks cute on Instagram and gaining them a million followers is so easy to do. But what happens when they're 30? Because when they're not cute, it's game over. There's no longevity behind it.
So my idea with my quad implants was going to be that this piece, so it'd be one piece, so it'd be subfascial, we don't have to go submuscular.
Catch me, Ricksel, and my co-host Juan live on Tuesday the 15th, and join the conversation on Channel 76 starting at 6 p.m.
Hi everybody, welcome to today's show and thank you for coming here. Our week's topic is going to be men and social standards about them. I'm here with my co-host.
Hi, my name is Ricksel.
And I'm Juan. And I'd like to invite you to call the number on the screen, 861 or 415-861-6648 if you have any questions about what we're going to talk today.
So let's begin. In average, how many do you check social media?
I think I check social media every day, definitely.
So what kind of purposes though?
Well, I feel like I check Instagram about 3 hours a day. Well, that's a standard that's kind of changing now, so it's a bit less, but that's what I used to.
So who do you usually see in social media?
Well, it really depends on which one I'm using because it changes it, but a topic that I see a lot is if I'm scrolling through Snapchat stories or Instagram discover pages, a lot of the beauty things that appear are going to be really fit people or a muscular man just working out.
Yeah, I feel like when I go to my Instagram pages, it's there's a lot of fitness kind of thing. Maybe it's because I follow a lot of fitness things, like fitness, lifestyle, profession, and all that. And there's a lot of misinformation into it, but it's also I mostly see muscular people, and it's just very and then really tone definition of muscles. And I feel it's very addicting when you're in social media because we have this validity of trying to get likes and people trying to see our posts, and it's very destructive. I think I believe, right?
Now that you're talking about that, do you post a lot of pictures of yourself?
Oh no, I'm very insecure. If you know me, I tend to lean back because I just feel I'm very self-conscious because I don't want to be judged. When I see my face, I just feel so insecure about it because it's round, and I guess the camera doesn't make it slim. I feel I'm fat, so I'm just there I'm not gonna post that. It has to be an angle distance from me. So it's whenever I see a selfie of mine, I'm just did I really do that? That's Have you ever posted yourself a photo?
I posted one photo myself, you. I just don't even take pictures really. Posted one photo, but it had a filter on it that made it look funny, so it would hide me.
Yeah, if you for me, I have to use filters because that will make me look I guess cuter in a sense. I don't want to use that word, but to be honest, it does. And it's common for people to use filters nowadays. It's not something it's bad. It's just enhances your beauty. But I feel Instagram or any social media platform is so addicting because the constant notification. They did the study where they did the notification study where every bing bing of that notification, you're more tempted to actually respond to it because it's it responds to your dopamine receptors. It's there's a new notification, I wonder who it is. And and that's what gets to me in class because I get distracted.
Notifications?
Yeah, notifications. Mostly I'm trying to search for validity for people, and that's kind of a problem because I should search for my own validity. But yeah, it's kind of but yeah, I just feel have you ever felt insecure about yourself? Just looking at people who are I guess in a better physique as you, or
Well, yeah, I never really wanted to look like a specific person, but looking at all the fit people around the world, I do sometimes want to have a body like theirs. Like,
Mm-hmm.
again, not specifically looking at one person, but just working out is something that I think I should do when I do see people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really healthy because you should be fine the way you are.
Yeah,
What
I
about, oh, sorry. What about
sorry.
you?
For me, I feel like, embrace who you are. That's like the key message. But it's also like it's kind of like very pressuring nowadays. I feel like because now you have this like, oh, you have to have this certain physique because like that's what's gonna get you more attraction or more likes or more validity, and it's just like how can I achieve that look? You go to like YouTube, you kind of go through this, and I feel like it gives you this sort of like conjunction where you're like, oh, I have to fit this narrative. I have to fit in just like society wants me to be. I think it's now common nowadays. Would you think so? Where like everyone is just trying to get in for the look and like not like thinking about the mental health importance about it.
Oh yeah, I do think so because like you even mentioned earlier that you were talking about notifications. It means that
Mm-hmm.
people want to realize that they're valid, or quote unquote valid.
Mm-hmm.
Then you were also talking about how they put more filters on themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and what that showed to me was that they don't really want to look like how they are. They want to conform to those things that you've been talking about, and
Yeah. I feel like for me, I feel I've been very insecure ever since I was in middle school because I'm like, especially my looks, like in general, because I feel like I wasn't good enough for myself. I wasn't like good enough for other people, and I would always see myself in like the mirror. I'm like, oh shoot, like damn, that's really rough. I literally look like that, and it just gave me like this self denoting expression where I'm like, oh, you need to lose weight. Oh, you need to have this set of style, and it's kind of damaging because like when you're like in televisions or when you're in like YouTube, in general, it depends on what your searches you are. It gives you this signal or this like message where oh you have to like buy this product or you have to buy this product to look good, and I've been doing that in a couple of like I guess in a few years like last year because I was trying to search for like beauty products, which is not bad, but it's kind of making the sense of like you have to buy this product in order to make yourself beautiful. Have you ever like bought like any like facial masks or like any kind of like that?
I don't buy a facial mask. The only thing I
Mhm.
buy is acne cream, but that's for a different reason. But there's one thing that you talked about earlier,
Yeah.
like how you were feeling like you didn't fit in when you were in middle school.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like it's really bad if you think that little kids, or what I call little kids, are people who are not insecure about themselves. Like they're not really that high in the world. I guess
Mhm.
they haven't lived that long, but just feeling already that they don't belong isn't a good thing. And we
Ye-
have a stat that shows that here actually.
Yeah, like how girls have like Barbie dolls and stuff,
Mm.
and like they like the Barbies are like skinny and they have like this really like long hair. Like don't have like boys have like action figures that also have like really muscly and kind of stuff.
Yeah, I used to have a Power Ranger figure. Typically the Power Rangers are muscular,
Mm-hmm.
and this all came from like G.I. Joe action figures earlier on. And I feel like unlike Barbies, they conform to more of that muscular figure than slim.
Yeah, I remember I had like I would say like five action figure, and it was hella funny because like they're like fake, but I didn't know it was fake. But they were hella muscly. Okay, they were all defined, and I was just like, oh my god, like damn, I want to look like that when I grew up. And I guess that sent me like a negative connotation, I guess, growing up because I felt like, oh, I have to when I grow up, I have to be like this, that sense like that strong evocation of emotion.
Did you ever feel as a kid that you could get to this point that you've been talking about with normal means?
With normal means? Oh, good question. I feel like I wouldn't say normal. I went through a lot of stuff when I was in middle school. I had like an eating disorder, which I didn't know at the time because I was just like, I was just thinking to myself because I was overweight. I was constantly eating. And when I came to America, I was just there like, oh, I had this goal of like losing weight because, you know, everyone around me was calling me like fat. And I just started having like, oh, these thoughts, like negative thoughts, where I'm like, oh, I have to be skinny. I have to not eat. So I literally did not eat for, I guess, like breakfast and lunch. And then I would only eat at midnight, which is like only like a few portions. And that, like, over the weeks, like, I gradually lost weight, like 5 pounds, um, constantly. And then my doctor was like, oh my God, you're losing weight drastically. And I remember I felt relieved by that emotion. I mean, by that experience, because I was like, oh, finally, I'm getting skinnier, and and then like I'm getting the pounds out of my like jeans because I couldn't fit them, and I was like, I started to notice it because like now I can actually like my pants were like loose, and I was like so happy. But long term wise, it definitely I lost a lot of muscle mass because it wasn't just taking my fat away, it was taking also my muscles because it was like taking so much fat. It was like burning so much fat because I wasn't eating and I was just only using the energy that I had during the days. So that contributed to why I'm like I don't have much muscle mass anymore. I think so. Yeah. So like, have you had any experience of like having um this idea of like, oh, like the standards of beauty because of like what your environment tells you?
Like, have I ever felt I need to be
Yeah.
fat?
Like, have
Um,
you ever felt?
well, not until recently, I didn't realize it. But
Mm-hmm.
like you said, I feel like earlier on too, I was probably this way because I've been underweight. And I never even actually checked on that. I just felt like it was normal to be skinnier.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I saw this because of people I saw on TV. So yeah, I see a normal standard for myself that I should fit.
Yeah. So like, you know how like in social, I guess like in social media right now, like everyone tries to be accepting for like oh,
Oh,
Alright, you find you've got a call.
hi.
Hello,
Hello. What's your name?
my name is Sarah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So like, what's your
I do have
question? I'm sorry.
sorry. My question is, I do have a lot of self-esteem issues. How do you think I can like work with that? Like, what do you think I can do to like improve my confidence?
Oh, that's a good question actually. So
Thank you.
when I was like in middle school, I didn't have like the best confidence, but I feel like it has to start with something you like, that you're feel good about. So maybe, for me, I started with like a word. So I associate with myself like, oh, like I'm strong, I'm confident, and I always
Okay.
had to repeat it every day and tell it to myself in the mirror because that really helped me. Because if no one believed that I was strong and confident, I might as well start believing myself, you know?
Alright. Okay.
And it has to start from you because honestly, no one in the world or no other people can be the judge of what you are, you know? And
Oh,
you have to have a strong dedication of like, you have to surround yourself with people who are gonna give you benefits or people who are positive, and that will contribute to your like confidence. For me, I had to surround myself with people who are positive in my life, and that contributed to long term of what I am now. Basically, it just has to do with you and how you're gonna approach it.
thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm. No problem. Bye.
and I feel like you brought up a really good point when you were giving that beautiful discussion.
Uh huh.
Or Speech?
confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like a for me, if confidence is very key to who you are. 'Cause if you don't have confidence, you will feel the pressure of like society on you. Like you will feel very insecure because now everyone says like everyone's defining you now basically, and they're like, oh, you have to do this, oh, you have to do that, and like if you don't have the confidence about you, or you don't feel the confidence about you, you'll start taking that in, and you'll feel like, oh, maybe she's right, oh, maybe he's right, or maybe the ads are right, so I'll take that in, and then that will make me feel like, shoot, I shot myself in the foot. Have you ever felt pressured like by doing that, or have you ever feel like your confidence was questioned?
I have felt that my confidence was questioned. It wasn't really that obvious. Like they were telling me you need to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
But like, when you're younger and you're normally like the less athletic kid, you're asked, "Are you sure you can do this?" Like if you're playing basketball, before you join a team, they'll tell you something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And well, that kind of told me that I'm not good enough. So
Yeah.
that does bring self-esteem down. And I think that has a lot to do with bullying sometimes. But like my scenario, it wasn't that much.
Oh.
Looks like you have another caller. You're on the air with Youthline.
Hi.
Hello. Hello. My name's Adam. I had a question about you guys' show.
Yeah.
Regarding the show. So, what can the media do to help improve like men's body types and give them more confidence, stuff like that?
That's a very good question. I feel like just like pushing just pushing the narrative of like acceptance for men's body structure, because like you see like nowadays like ads like for women, it's like, oh, we're including plus size women, but you don't really see plus size men, and it's just kind of weird because you're like, wait, you're catering to one specific gender with body size, but then you also are not taking into content for the other size, like the other part of that. And you see more of like women getting accepted, but then you don't really see the other portion of it, like the male portion, which is kind of like, I guess it's like double standards.
Yeah.
So
like
I
giving
get,
equality for both women and men. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess bringing awareness to this issue, because no one really talks about a male beauty standards. It's like a taboo topic apparently.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Right.
Good stats.
So, you have statistics, but here's one thing I want to talk about. Overall, throughout history, I feel like men have been sort of formed to be the more confident kind of person. So, like, back in the old times, you had to be stronger to survive, generally. So, I feel like this carried on till today, right?
Yeah, so basically, okay, if you go back to prehistoric ancient times, there was always like a gender roles. So like women were like the caretakers, and there was also like the gatherers. Like they would take like food, like vegetables or like crops, basically. And then you see men have the role of being like taking hunting, providing food for their family, or basically. And I feel like that gender role situation has been taken in like a long time now, apparently. It's more evident during the 1950s, where like you see women are stay at home and then men are basically trying to provide for their family. So it gives like the structure of like men are the ones who's supposed to provide and protect their family. So they have to have this like bigger role of like dominance, and have this like physique of like, this physique of trying to basically take care of their spouses.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like now 2000s, it's a very different era where now it's like women can take care of themselves and men are okay with that. And yeah, that should be where we are now, but I feel like we should push the agenda of it's okay to be a little bit of both.
I agree, and I feel like, okay, so you're saying how these standards are still shown in society.
Yes.
I feel like they are more generally getting equal and higher up, but if you go back to like middle school again, like we have stats here that say 35% of boys have been bullied. This is by the ADA SSOC, and this shows that people who are been bullied are more likely bullied because they don't fit the sort of like macho sort of stereotype where they show more confident aspects of themselves. Maybe they're like a more cowardly. So I just feel like that's a really good thing to look at. You don't really recognize the equality until you grow up.
Yeah. So what I was addressing, I guess I kind of screwed it over when I said a little bit of both. I meant like it's
No.
okay of being who you are. You know, you don't have to conform what society says. You just have to have that initiative of like basically you have to find what's right for you, you know? If working out makes you happy, then it should be your goal to be happy. And it shouldn't be the goal of you trying to have this physique to conform of like what Instagram likes, what TikTok likes, or what this one likes.
All right. Well, I think that summarizes it for today. Be yourself.
That's the message is just be yourself and accept yourself, because if no one's gonna accept yourself, then start accepting yourself.
See you next show.